New York City is one of those remarkable cities that each season offers something different. Take a walk on the Brooklyn Bridge or visit the iconic Coney Island in summer. The changing leaves are brought by the cooler fall temperatures. Renting a car for leaf peeping upstate is a great way to explore the Hudson Valley. The legendary Rockefeller Center Christmas Tree and skating rink to top travelers' lists of winter activities. If you can catch a break between rain showers, spring thaw is an ideal time to enjoy the blooming trees of Central Park or even the Highline. Are you ready to know more about New York City? Keep an eye out because we'll be showing you more of the city that never sleeps. Central Park. You must visit Central Park while in New York to get the best city experience. As you step off 59th Street's crowded sidewalks into a sea of green, you won't believe what awaits you. 693 acres of man-made gardens, meadows, forests, and hillsides. You would walk 58 miles if you walk down every path in Central Park. Along the way, you'll see sculptures, bridges, and arches. You can also see the 21 playgrounds, an ice skating rink in the winter, and even a zoo. However, the four major crosstown thoroughfares, which cleverly disappear into grass and trees tunnels, would go unnoticed. Plan your park route to include stops at iconic Central Park attractions. You'll see places such as the Bethesda Fountain, Bow Bridge, Belvedere Castle, and the Strawberry Fields John Lennon Memorial. New York Botanical Garden. The New York Botanical Garden features properly maintained flower gardens, vibrant fields, twisty paths, and exquisite greenhouses. There are spots that feel incredibly romantic, as if you're truly isolated from the rest of the world. There are huge areas that make it challenging to think you're still in the Bronx. The greenhouses host each year a train show that replicates all of New York City in miniature in the winter. Every floral pleasure is amazing, from cherry trees to florals in the warmer months. Spend at least a half day here and have a picnic. Chinatown. Chinatown is one of the areas of the city that make Lower Manhattan exciting and memorable. After exiting the Canal Street subway station, you'll pass by past thick crowds, neon light shops, and vendors peddling fake designer bags. You'll also find yourself in the narrow streets of Chinatown. This is where there are bright heaps of produce, flavorsome ducks sticking in windows, and food outlets old and new. Chinatown has a long history and was first settled by Chinese immigrants in the 1850s. You are free to visit in any way that suits you. Everyone will benefit from a visit to Chinatown. Whether you spend an hour savoring a box of pork belly or duck from street-style Wafu No. 1 before moving on, or you spend the rest of the day shopping for produce, dining out, and visiting the Museum of Chinese in America. The Morgan Library and Museum. The Morgan is a museum or library or landmark or historic site or music venue. Rare artifacts, paintings, and books, some dating back to 4000 BC, can be found inside the multimillionaire's personal library. This has been expanded into a must-see museum and cultural space that are more valuable than your home. The museum houses one of only 23 copies of the original Declaration of Independence, Mozart's handwritten score of the Hafner Symphony, as well as all the collected works of African-American poets, Phyllis Wheatley, Milton's Paradise Lost Manuscript, and Charles Dickens' manuscript of A Christmas Carol. Aside from its breathtaking interior, the important documents stored within this library and museum will definitely give you goosebumps. The Cathedral of St. John the Divine. The Cathedral of St. John the Divine is sited at 112th and Amsterdam in Upper Manhattan's Morningside Heights. It is the world's biggest cathedral and the sixth largest church by region. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people pass through these doors for a reason. The cathedral itself is worth seeing for its impressive architectural elements, narrative stained glass windows, and 17th century embroideries. However, there is a masterpiece here that is incredibly significant to New York City. This includes Keith Haring's white gold and bronze altarpiece and Meredith Bergman's 9/11 memorial sculpture, which contains tower debris. Enjoying the video so far? Consider giving us a like and subscribe. The cathedral serves daily and Sunday worship services that are open to the public. The cathedral is free to pray, meditate, or contemplate in. Visitors who come to see the sights can enter for $5. Depending on the day of the week, there are special tours available. Summit 1 Vanderbilt. There are plenty of breathtaking views to be found throughout the city. The team behind Summit 1 Vanderbilt has provided a complete experience where you could happily spend a few hours. The journey begins with the elevator, a light and sound-filled ride that levitates visitors to the 91st floor. You will be greeted by a massive, mirrored room with a view of New York City. There are also rotating art installations by Kenzo Digital. There are also two special features: levitation, a glass skybox that gives the impression of floating 1,000 feet above Madison Avenue, and Ascent, a separate glass elevator that takes you even higher to take a peek over downtown Manhattan. Inside is a Nordic-inspired space designed by Snøhetta that serves food and drinks from Danny Meyer's Union Square events. Food like pastrami stuffed pretzels and ricotta toast. There's also a wraparound open-air balcony that feels like the city's most fascinating rooftop bar. Broadway. Seeing a Broadway show is a unique experience that is exceptional to New York City for both locals and first-time visitors. When you're walking into Midtown Manhattan for a show, the bright billboards and lights don't flash in your face, they dazzle in your eyes. The costumes, sets, songs, and stories of a Broadway show are the stuff of dreams. And after a brief hiatus due to the pandemic, Broadway has reopened. Celebrate the return of live performances with critically acclaimed shows such as Six and Hadestown. The Cloisters. The Met Cloisters is located on 4 acres in northern Manhattan's Fort Tryon Park. It is a branch of the Metropolitan Museum of Art and America's only museum dedicated exclusively to Middle Ages art and architecture. The structure, which overlooks the Hudson River, incorporates 5 medieval-inspired cloisters. They are now into a modern museum structure, creating a historic, contextualized backdrop against which to view the art. Coney Island. Coney Island is known as a circus-worthy tourist trap, which it is. However, the old-fashioned charms of this beachfront American town may surprise you. The food and drinks, especially Totonno's Pizza, Gargiulo's, and Coney Island Brewery, will leave you speechless. Tourists and locals alike congregate on the beach, eat ice cream cones on the promenade, and wait in line for the famed Cyclone roller coaster. The beach and boardwalk, as well as restaurants like Nathan's, are open all year. The amusement park is only open during the summer. Even if it's crowded, events like the annual Mermaid Parade are worth watching for the audacity and theatrics found nowhere else but Coney Island. Washington Square Park. If you enjoy people watching, Washington Square Park is the place to be. Career chess players, musicians, performers, students, sunbathers, strollers, and general throngs of Greenwich villagers. They are the type of people who are desperate for a breath of fresh air in this intimate, not quite 10-acre space. Take your time, pause beneath Washington Arch, which honors the country's first president or for whom the park is named. Notice the laurel wreaths and intricate motifs as well. It extends from the base to the keystones, atop which twin eagles perch like constant watchmen. The beating heart of this bright New York neighborhood is Washington Square Park. For many years, New York has been known as the city that never sleeps. Despite its bustling streets, there is much to discover about this lovely city. Would you go after New York's beautiful architectural buildings? Or how about taking in the scenery of Central Park while sipping on a hot cup of coffee? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this video, consider liking and subscribing.